बंद कर I think I should be. Guys, we're going to start in another 2 minutes, yeah? इतने नेक लोग हैं इनको मकान शुरू ट्रांसफॉर्म करता हूँ ट्रांसफॉर्मर बन गए Can everybody hear me? Nice. Okay, should we start? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for signing in. As you know, I am BT and I'll be leading the call today. The call is being recorded, so if in case you have to exit in between, we'll be uploading it on YouTube, so you can go and check out the parts that you've missed. Today's call is just an introductory call to the new challenge that we're starting on Monday. The call will highlight some of the things that we'll be assigning you guys to do in terms of body tests, and then we'll be also explaining the template that we've shared in the email on the nutrition plan. Of course, the workouts and all will be done together, so you guys don't need to worry too much about them. They will be briefed and explained in the session. But the most important thing is the training, the nutrition guideline that we've shared for the first week, and the goals that we have for you all to complete in order for us to measure your progress over the 8 weeks. So I'm going to first and foremost want to congratulate all of you to actually sign up for this challenge. This challenge is, I'm actually really excited for it because the first challenge has given us a lot of insight into areas where we could have improved. And we've actually worked based on your suggestions and tweaked the challenge accordingly. We're really hoping to see some positive results in the next 8 weeks. So without any further ado, first of all, if any of you have any comments or questions during the talk, you're more than welcome to drop them in the comment section and we'll come back to them towards the end of the call. Now, you must have received an email yesterday in the around 8:30 p.m. In that email was the Zoom call link, obviously, but attached to the email was also the nutrition guideline or the nutrition template for week 1. I don't know if any of you have had the chance to view it, but I'm going to share my screen now, which will give you guys the opportunity to review the template that we have emailed to you all. this here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, so we've got the screen on. Can I go to the first slide, please? Right, guys. So we've got three options that we've shared with you for this first week, and the reason we've shared three options are obviously because each and every one of you have different goals. Some of you are potentially looking to drop weight, drop fat, and kind of, see some reduction in your scale digits. Others are looking to kind of maintain their weight but still drop fat and change body composition, so eat better. And the third option, or the third category of people, will be potentially people that are looking to weight, that are looking to increase weight and increase their kind of, let's say, overall kind of mass as well, when it comes to the muscles. Now, here are some of the things which we felt that last time we did the challenge, when we asked you all to record and do the MyFitnessPal and all of that, it got a bit confusing. So what we've done is we've actually made meal plans for you, which you can easily follow, and get a very clear idea of what the count of calories you guys are taking on a daily basis. Okay? So I'm going to first talk about option A, which is going to be the lowest calorie count. The lowest calorie count, meaning this is going to be approximately 1 to 1800 calories of total. Like if you have your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack option, right? So if we look at the screen that's in front of us, we've got the breakfast option. Afaz, do you mind muting yourself, mate? Thank you.
Once.
So if we look at option A, we've got the breakfast where we are sharing, we've got a very simple breakfast option: 1 full egg, 1 egg white, 1 whole wheat bread, a cup of black coffee, and a fruit of choice. If you're someone that has a meal like that, you're looking at around about 300 calories that you are consuming. Now, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the breakfast section, and then the same rules will be kind of applied to your lunch, dinner, snack option. Now, let's assume that I'm someone that has this breakfast, but I have the 1 full egg and the egg white boiled, right? So my count is going to be very similar to what's written on the screen right now. It's probably not going to be more than what's written, unless I add like a lot of salt or a lot of like flavor to that boiled egg. But for example, if Vandana here has the same full egg and the egg white, but she makes like, let's say, a scrambled egg out of it, and she puts like cream and butter and milk and all of that to make that scrambled egg, then the 70 calories and the 17 calories which I've consumed as boiled egg multiply for Vandana, right? Vandana has the same eggs, but because of the way she's made them, her calorie count has probably bumped up to like 200 calories in those 2 eggs. The reason why we're sharing this with you is to make you understand that while on surface, a lot of us say, yes, I consume 2 eggs, right? But a lot of times the way you prepare those eggs make a huge difference. And the same rules apply to your lunch, to your dinner, and to the snack. So if I move forward with the same kind of mindset and I go to like the snack option, right? In this option A, we've shared the snacks where we've said you can either have an apple, a handful of nuts, or a tablespoon of peanut butter with, let's say, your apple, right? Now, maybe the apple that you have is the way it is, right? So let's say Eamon has the apple raw. She's consuming around about 95 calories. But let's say Vandana is having the apple, and each slice of that apple that she has, she's rubbing like almond butter on top. So that same apple calories go from 95 to probably 200, right? And that's okay. So there's no like It's not that Vandana is making a mistake or Eamon's right and Vandana is wrong. That's not the point. The point is that we need to be aware that the same food item can have a very different impact when cooked or consumed with something else. And the reason why we're making this template is for you to understand that if you have these things in the most raw, simple form, organic form, then these are the kind of calories you consume. But if you start cooking them in a way where you are adding different additives or preservatives to them, the calorie count will fluctuate. We are suggesting that those of you that are looking to kind of drop weight, increase lean muscle, but drop fat, option A is probably the best option for you in terms of the amount of food and the quantity of items that are mentioned in each. The same thing if we move to option B, which is your moderate calories. This is where someone like me, I consume this, which is like around about 2000, 2200 calories a day. If you look at it, it's still breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. So you're still having 4 meals, right? The only difference now is that the quantity of food is changing. So instead of one full egg and one egg white, here you're having one full egg and 2 egg whites. You're having one slice whole wheat. You're having 2 fruits of choice. So someone like me has 2 slices of bread instead of 2 fruit choices, right? So the count is more or less the same, right? Um, Here, your lunch is also going to be different. Instead of the 1 cup lunch, in the first option, you're having a cup and a half, which is around about 210 grams. Some of you might be wondering, what's the size of the cup, right? Actually, this is quite simple. If you go to any of your grocery stores and ask them for those baking cups, those are you get like different sizes. The biggest size is actually the cup that we are talking about, right? I'll send a picture in the groups as well, just for reference, but that's the easiest way. Over here, for example, in the lunch, we mentioned if you're having roti or chawal, right? So that's also an option, whether you want to have the roti or chawal. If you don't want to have it, that's something that you can straight away remove from your calorie count. Let's say that you have this exact same lunch that we mentioned. Half cup of chicken breast, cooked, right? Cooked, matlab, let's say you've made like a kadhai or a boneless chicken. ठीक है? उसमें आपने tomatoes डाले हैं, तेल डाला है, जो भी डाला है, right? ये हमने कहा है 346 calories. Let's say we make it in like desi ghee and we make it. How much calories will that increase? Yeah, 150, right? So that same meat goes to 150 calories. Steamed vegetables, they actually don't have too many calories, but they fill you up very nicely. And that's one of the things that at least someone like me tries to fill up on, so that I don't have to have too much carbs to fill. And even with like a cup full, I'm only consuming 45 calories, right? So that tells you how much difference one food item versus the other can make. If you have 1.5 cup of rice with that, and you have your coffee, and you have fruit, you are not looking at more than, let's say, 800 calories. That's a pretty decent amount of calories for some good food, like good quality food, right? Um, and that kind of shows you that if you make it the right way, you're actually not going to harm your body. You're actually going to benefit your body from it, right? Because this is good, nutritious food. The same thing you can apply for dinner. You can have the same meat that you made for lunch, the same steamed vegetables. Now, if you want to go with a lower calorie count here, you can skip the rice, right? You can pump up the steamed vegetables and obviously avoid the sugar which fruit provides you, right? So maybe instead of the fruit, you want to have a block of dark chocolate, right? To get that craving. So that block of dark chocolate is going to be probably like what, 50 to 70 calories. That's okay. It's not bad. Actually, dark chocolate's good for you. It gives you antioxidants, help to kind of boost metabolism. If you have all of these in option B, people that are training with us 4 to 5 days a week actually should be on this count. That's the recommended count. You are looking at around about 2,000 to 2,200 calories. Okay? Now comes the last option, which is going to be option C. This is the highest calorie count. Actually, my bad. This is the count that I'm having, right? Where we have someone like me who will have 3 to 4 eggs, 2 slices of whole wheat bread, 1 cup of coffee, 2 pieces of fruit. I'm having around about 600 calories, 650 in breakfast. Lunch, protein intake is a lot higher, 2 cups instead of a cup and a half, right? Rice is also higher, roti is also higher. So everything is just slightly higher in this. How do I let someone in?
Maruf is waiting.
Sorry. Thanks, Apaz. Yeah. So again, if you look at the screen that's in front of you, you will notice that the items and all are the same, but just the count or the quantity is increased. The snacks are very different here. In the higher calorie count, you've got stuff like granolas, Greek yogurts. Greek yogurt's great for high protein, but it's also got good fat in them, or a good amount of fat. We've also got stuff like almond butter, peanut butter, again, higher fat content in these. For those of you that have protein shakes, that would count as your snack, right? So let's assume that you're someone that has a protein shake but also chooses to go with the snack, so you're potentially looking at 300 calories, right? Unless that protein shake has like stuff like whole milk and dates and शहद. अगर ये कर रहे हो तो भाई फिर तो आप अलग लेवल पे चल रहे हो ना. खैर है, उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है, करो, लेकिन समझ के करो. So just to reflect here, all of you have this in your email. The only reason we've shared this for you is so that you don't have to go through the hassle of logging into your MyFitnessPal every day and updating your MyFitnessPal. This, if followed, should give you a very clear idea that I have consumed this much meat or this much food, and this is the calorie count I've had. So what this does is it then brings us to a good place on our accountability or in person and say, BT, I'm following option A's count. So that tells BT that you are on a 15 or a 16 to 1800 calorie count, right? So we have established the base that you're at. Now, week on week, if we need to tweak things, we know exactly how to tweak them and where to tweak them, right? So that's number one, why we've shared this. The most important thing is that we have to understand that the items that we've shared here will be different in count of calories based on how you cook them. Okay? Again, going back to, let's say, option B. If I'm making dinner, let's come to the dinner. Half cup meat of chicken or minced meat. Let's say keema. Okay? Cooked. This is raw cooked meat, guys. That's what 210 grams give you. 346 calories. Raw cooked. इसमें बहुत भी डला होगा तो शायद गार्लिक डला होगा या ऑलिव ऑयल डला होगा या देसी घी डला होगा. ठीक है? अगर इसमें आपने 3 टमाटोज डाले हैं, उसके साथ आपने ½ kg पालक डाला है, जो भी डाला है, right? All of this changes your calorie count. We have to remember that. Let's say आपने वो कीमा प्लेट पे डाल के उसके ऊपर sriracha sauce आधा कप डाल दिए, ठीक है। उसका मतलब ये है कि आपका जो डिनर का कैलोरी काउंट था वो अब 571 से 750 800 को टच कर गया है. That's something we have to be aware of. If we are aware of it, we can then make small changes on a week to week basis, on a meal to meal basis, to reduce, maintain, or increase our calories. And that's the whole purpose. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Right. Now, we are going to come and we're going to open the floor for the Q&As, and we'll discuss this further. But I want to first talk about the roles and responsibilities that you as members or as participants of the challenge have in the coming week that you have to perform. You has to come to Matrix Fit whichever day you come, and you have to get your body tested. You've got the machine or the equipment at the gym. You have to come either Aftab, Usra, or Manur.
Should be done fasted. Should be done fasted as well.
No, I think that's a bit unrealistic, right?
But it has to be.
We can't do it fasted because someone's going to come in the evening, someone's going to come in the morning. We know that it's an
But हम
unfasted
check
state.
भी तो उसी में करेंगे.
Right, we'll recheck it then. When you come in the coming week, you have to get the body test done with the equipment that's available at the gym. Your people that will help you get this test done will be Aftab, Manur, or Musra. And the data that you receive, which will be the stats, you will have to share them in your accountability groups by the end of this, in the coming week. Very important that we do that and we mark that date where we tested, because 4 weeks later, we are going to recheck that. And then 4 weeks later after that, towards the end of the challenge, we're going to retest that. That's going to help us quantify the progress that we've made. That makes sense. I'm going to now open the floor for Q&As. We can discuss the sample meal plans that we've shared, any questions that you have, the goals that we've set for the first week, and any Q&A, any questions or concerns you have about the 4 weeks ahead of us in general. And you can direct the questions towards anyone, guys. Nazia's here, Vandana's here, Kiran's here, I'm here. Do we have anything in the comments or the question? Who's Maruf is Nazia? How do you make yours? I like the easy drinking one. My protein shake is always thick. It's in water. Also, how many calories are in the peanut butter one which we have? You wanna answer that? Yeah, so Nazia is right here. The protein shakes that we have at the gym, which is the banana and the peanut butter and
It's
the
under 300
chocolate one. It's under 300 calories. You're looking at around about 275 to 280 calories. It is made in water. It's whey protein. So it's got a little bit of oats. So the measurements that we've done and the calorie count is around about 275 to 280 calories. Where is the dessert option for dinner? Okay, cool question. I like this. So I'm just gonna share the screen again. क्या हो गया यार?
Record नहीं
Okay, so Radhi, I'm going to try and answer this question for you. Dessert options, right? So let's assume that we are all on option B, okay, and we are done with our dinner, right? And we are craving some kind of dessert, right? You know that if we've had everything from breakfast, lunch, and we've had the snack, right? And we've had the snack, you are consuming around about 2000, 2100 calories, right? We're going to add 150 to 200 calories to this based on assuming the fact that we've cooked these meals in a different manner. Okay? Someone's cooked them grilled, someone cooked them with Alan, whatever it is, right? So let's assume that we are having 1000 to 2300 calories. This what it. Dinner option, dessert options. If we go ahead and smash cheesecake, you're looking at 400 to 500 calories, straightforward, right? So now you know that you are consuming 3000 calories. You are no longer in that count of calories that you're targeting, right? Now, let's not get bogged down by this, okay? So let's see how we can actually maintain our calorie count for the week and still have that cheesecake. Let's assume that we are on the 2000 calorie count and we have 7 days in the week. Out of the 7 days, 4 days, we've actually hit the 2000 calorie count. We've followed everything to the end, right? So we know that we've been hitting 2000 calories every day, 4 days. On the 5th day, we say we are going to have that cheesecake. Fantastic. So now the 2000 has gone up to 2500. Yeah. But then we make a promise to ourselves that on day 6 and 7, we are going to consume less calories than 2000. Not by starving ourselves, but by instead of having the half cup of rice, we're going to have, the 1.5 cup of rice, we are just going to have 3/4. I'm just giving an example. Or instead of having the dare roti, we're just going to have one roti, right? And what we're going to do, or maybe skip the rotis in dinner or lunch completely and just swap them with more vegetables. So what that does is, cumulatively, by the end of the week, your calorie count of 2000 per day, which is in line with your goals, remains, and you've still had that cheesecake that you were craving. Now, here's the flip side. If you're someone that's craving and having that cheesecake every day, then God help you. Because now there's no other way to actually help you, instead that you remove the calories from any other meal on a daily basis just to hit that calorie count, which means that you're giving up quality food which will help you get your results, and you're choosing to have dessert which is going to not give you the best results but it'll still crave. So it's either or, right? I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So Kiran has a suggestion where she's suggesting that there's always alternatives of food that you can, or desserts that you can make at home that can crave those, that can help you satisfy those cravings. What do they have instead of cheesecake?
We have option of the Greek.
You can make cheesecake with Greek yogurt instead of actual cheese.
Yeah, so
Greek yogurt with dark chocolate.
yeah, so again, there are alternatives. Obviously, you can have Greek yogurts, you can add some granola on top, dark chocolate on top. I don't know if it gives you the right sensation or the same thing, but usually what happens is that whatever you're craving, which is the meat, if you have something alternative, it kind of does the trick, right? It kind of gives your body, your mind, the dopamine that it's looking for, and you kind of trick your mind essentially from
The dates are
the dry foods, the dates. But again, these are, again, this is more to do with how much can you trick your system. BT, I work out twice a day. Is it a good idea to do so? What do you suggest? So, Aaron, that's a good question, mate. And I know you because you train with me regularly, so I know how you are. I personally think there's no need for you to train twice a day. I think if you come to the sessions that you've signed up for and you try to kind of actually hit them with more intensity, that will benefit you better versus hitting 2 sessions a day, depleting that energy in the first session, coming to the second session already kind of depleted of energy, not being able to push through with the right intensity in the second session, which is not going to be very beneficial. So my suggestion to you would be, instead of having 2 sessions a day, maybe add a sixth day, which is a Saturday, where you can just go do something extra. But I think the 5 days that we have at Matrix Fit are pretty intense, especially this new volume that's coming up. It's, I think it's going to be more than enough for most people. I don't see why people should train twice a day.
One more suggestion for Aaron: if he feels that need of working out twice, the main workout should be the sessions we provide, and the other workout could be just a walk in the park. Helps you get in the steps, helps you move more throughout the day, and yeah.
Yeah,
and
so-
also
so-
burn calories. in the process.
So like we did in the last challenge, after each session that we have that we'll have in the coming 4 weeks, we will advise you to kind of maybe get some steps in for 10 to 15 minutes. And we saw a lot of people benefit from that last time. And I think that kind of covers 90 minutes of work, which is more than enough for most people, man. Like, I genuinely don't understand why people who are not elite athletes need to train
Need to.
twice a day. Sorry, came in a bit late. Apologies if this was addressed. How are we going to determine the deficit value for the individual? Right, it's a good question. Nazia, do you want to take this? Okay, so yeah, so while Nazia connects and we share this, so deficit value is going to be determined based on what your current consumption is. Okay? The total daily expense, energy expense. We are going to share the link where you can calculate that. उससे आपको समझ आ जाएगी कि आपका टोटल आज अभी के दिन में क्या है. Most people will be on option B.
और also अगर meal plan follow करेंगे तो you are in the deficit.
Yes. So most of you, the template that we've shared in the email, you will fall under option B or option C. Just by looking at that meal plan, you'll be able to see कि यार मैं इधर बैठा हूँ. ठीक है? तो आप वो टेम्पलेट देख के अपना देख लो कि आप 2200 कैलोरी पे हो. ठीक है? आप डेफिसिट सिंपल टर्म्स में बहुत सिंपल इसको रखना है कि इसको डेफिसिट में जाने के लिए हमें शिफ्ट कहाँ करना है. ठीक है? तो आप वो जब ऑप्शन ए, बी और सी देखोगे टेम्पलेट में और आप कहोगे कि मैं अभी सी में बैठा हूँ, मैं बी में जाना चाहता हूँ, तो आप ऑटोमेटिकली डेफिसिट में चले जाओगे. राइट? अनलेस आप अभी ऑप्शन ए में हो, तो फिर उसको और डेफिसिट में जाने के लिए then you can share that with me, whoever your accountability coach is or Nazia, and then we can advise you accordingly. Okay. Yeah, Aaron, I think I've already answered that. Aaron, the individual coach will answer that for you. And I think what I just answered for Maruf has given you an insight of which option you should be in, because it depends on the goal that you're in as well. Everyone who has good products they consume.
That's fine.
That's fine, it's not that much.
Okay.
Do we need to share a daily eat plan before switching to this meal plan?
Okay, so Imran, thanks for sharing this question. I think this question is actually in line with what Maruf is saying as well. The first thing which we want you to do is the templates that we shared in your email. We want you to open that template. We want you to review each option. And as you're going through each option, we want you to ask yourselves the question of which option are you currently falling under, roughly, right? क्योंकि कुछ लोग जो हैं वो 3 मील्स नहीं खा रहे, कुछ लोग जो हैं वो 4 मील खा रहे हैं, कुछ लोग 2 मील खा रहे हैं, कुछ लोग 1 मील खा रहे हैं, राइट? अभी हमें नहीं पता. तो आपको जो टेम्पलेट हमने भेजा है आपको वो पढ़ के असेस करना है, आप किस ऑप्शन पे हो. Once you have that understanding, then you, in your accountability groups, you will share, and then you will decide what your goal is. So, for example, Eamon can look at that. Let's say Eamon's looking at these templates and she says, I'm in option B. But my goal for the next 4 weeks is to gain muscle. So we are going to then say, okay, then we have to see how we can take you to option C in the best way. Likewise, Uzma can be, I'm in option B, but I want to lose muscle, lose fat. So we have to see how we can tweak her to go into option A. Hope that makes sense, Imran and Maruf. Whip up the date, Brown.
इसलिए नहीं पढ़ा था, आगे पढ़ा था.
Right. Great. Thank you, Imran. Thank you, Maruf. Maruf, again, we do have the WhatsApp groups, guys. So further questions, you will have to kind of, again, once you've reviewed the templates, do share your current option you're in. The most important thing, the other most important thing is we have to commit to getting those tests done at the gym with Anur, Musfra, or Aftab. Please don't freak out and start running after them. When you come to the gym, one of them will be here. Just say, yo, can we go outside and get the test done? So we will look after you on that. If anyone has any closing remarks other than that, we think this call is complete. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one.